welcome back to another Feeding Otters video. It's been a while again. I'm kind of a summer video guy, so we're going to record more videos in the summer because then we can go outside. But it's just too cold here in the desert. So anyways, today we have some very special guests in town. We have, first of all, we have Megan and Tyler, our normal otters who are usually here with us. But we also have Sarah's two aunts, Marge and Julie, here in town, and Denny, who is hanging out with Marge these days. So we've got, and they're both from out of town. So they both grew up in Illinois. Marge is still in Illinois. Julie's now in the DC area. But if you've ever been to not the Middle East, but if you've ever been to the Midwest, then you know about the fried pork loin sandwich, right? The thing that's huge, that's massive. You pound out a pork loin. You make a beautiful sandwich with mustard, pickles, onions. We're going to do that, except we're going to make smaller versions, sliders, with some lovely brioche buns. I don't know if you hear that dog in the background. That's Megan's dog. She's a bad dog, too. It's true. But, yeah. So we're going to do some smaller versions of these sandwiches, the regular one, and then, of course, you got to church it up a little bit. So we're going to do the standard with the mustard, pickles, and onions. And then we're also going to do one kind of like an Italian pork milanese sandwich with a little bit of marinara, a little bit of mozzarella cheese melted up nice, you know, churching it up. So here we go. First thing we got to do, we got to cut this. Don't you guys know the big pork loins you get from Costco? It's about this big, about the size of a elephant's ding dong, huge. So what I like to do, elephant's trunk, that's what I meant to say. So what I do is I buy the whole thing, I cut a bunch of pork chops into it, vacuum seal them, keep them in the freezer, and I usually keep one like this to make a nice roast out of. But today, we're gonna cut these into chops as well. See, we got the fat cap on the top here, which makes it lovely, but we're gonna cut all of that off after we cut these into chops. Tyler, looks like we need to make another trip to the knife sharpener. This thing's getting a little dull here. So we're going to cut these just short of an inch thick. And then we're going to pound them out with the meat tenderizer. Season them up. We're going to bread them right here behind us. If you remember the chicken fried steak video, similar process. But we're going to do breadcrumbs on one. And we're going to do, for the traditional Midwestern, we're going to do a cracker crumb. If you ever get those onion rings that are just delicious and massive in the Midwest, that's usually a cracker meal. Cut this fat off. Now, normally, if I'm just cooking pork chops, I'm going to leave this fat on there because it's going to crisp up nice and be delicious. But when we pound these guys thin, it's just kind of gonna get tough on us, and that's not gonna be very nice. And plus, after we pound them really thin like that, and then we bread them, and then we deep fry them, remember, because it's so thin, they're not gonna cook very long, so that fat's not gonna have any time to render. So it won't be delicious, crispy pork fat. It'll be chewy, tough pork fat. Not delicious. All right, Megan?
Right.
All right. That guy off of there. And
Yes,
we had, yes, chef, I am not a chef. If we had good dogs here, we'd feed them to the dogs, this fat, but we don't. We have bad dogs here, so we're going to throw that away, right? Right? Right. All right. Let's get our meat tenderizer here. Now, the pros, you see them doing this, they're going to put some plastic and they're going to use this thin end here. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go medieval on this guy, and we're going to use this spiky end, and I'm not covering it. So, Tyler, if any pork chop bits come flying into your wine, I think the alcohol will kill any trichinosis. Should be okay. This is the noisy part. Flip this guy over. Otherwise, one side's tender and the other side's tough. That's not true. Here we go.
When you're pounding chicken, do you
Yep.
turn it over the same way? I mean,
Yeah.
Or do you only do one side? I always wonder.
I pound both sides.
Both sides.
Yep. Oh, hello, Denny. See that? I do my own stunts. That was one of them.
5-second rule.
That's right. Thanks, Denny. We cleaned this floor last month, so it should be okay. All right. Well, surprise, surprise. Look who's here. It's Marge, Sarah's aunt. Denny's hiding over here on the other side. But all right, so we got all of our not tenderloin, our pork loins pounded out here, nice and thin, about less than a centimeter thick. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna season each of these little guys, and again, we're doing sliders. So normally, this pork loin sandwich is gonna be about the size of your plate, right, Marge? About the size of your plate, way bigger than the bun, but we're gonna do sliders here. So they're still gonna hang over the bun, so it's gonna look the same, just smaller. So we're gonna season these babies up here, and again, you wanna salt plenty, but you don't wanna get too aggressive on these guys, because again, it's not very thick. But, all right, there's a little salt. Let's pepper these guys. There we go. All right, one side, side two, the B side. Salt, pepper, keep it simple. They don't like to church it up too much in the Midwest, right? Pretty conservative.
Pretty conservative.
All right. You know what? I can go ahead after I touch that raw pork, go right into this salt. You know why? Because that salt's going to kill anything that's on my fingers. Right, Tyler?
I have no idea.
It's true. It's going to kill all that garbage. All right. There you go. Put a little pepper. I don't know about the pepper, but it'll be all right. I like to live on the edge. All right. Seasoned up nicely. All right, Abby. Let's make some sandwiches. All right, here we go. So here goes our sliders. First step, remember, always flour. Then egg wash. Just egg and water. And then into our cracker meal. Make sure you got plenty on there. And into your oil. About 350 degrees. One. I think we're going to do 6. Flour, egg wash, and cracker meal. I seasoned the flour, and I seasoned the egg wash, and we seasoned the pork chops. You got to season in layers. Oh, look at that. Nice and hot. All right, what do you think, Abby? This guy done? Golden brown, delicious?
Yep.
Yep. You don't want to overcook it. That's just, you remember the pork loin is so lean that it dries out quickly. And this is really thin. So we're going to spin these guys over. So really probably 3 minutes on each side, max. As soon as the breading is done, the food is done. Okay, here we go. Let's take some of these guys out. That one's done. That one's done. Set them on the rack. They can lose some of that oil. We're almost there. All right, here we go. Time to put these babies together. So Abby requested no mustard on hers. She's not right. No mustard, no onions, only pickle. 3, 4, 5. And let's throw our pork loin right there. There. See, we still got the same effect, right? The hanging over the bun. Mm-hmm. Looks traditional.
It does.
Just smaller. This one's really hanging over. All right, let's throw some nice raw onions on there. Am I doing it right?
Doing great.
Great. Raw onions, no kisses tonight.
Well, if you both eat onions.
That's true.
Okay.
That's true. They cancel each other out, I think, huh? All right.
Wow, look at that.
Beautiful.
Fried tenderloins.
There we go. Now Aunt Julie's here. Now it's a party.
Yeah, right.
Is this the one without? No, that's.
I still have my quilts.
There we go. And now pickles.
Right, in case I need, oh, thank you.
I don't know if you guys have had these pickles. These are the ones from Costco, and they're incredible. There we go. Now we can put pickles on all the way across because Abby's okay with this, right, Abby? Oh, we're good. I think we're going to go one on there. And then we'll go with one here. And now let's top these guys. There, 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 and there. And let's take this plate away. And we're going potluck style. And we're using paper plates today. So, Marge, let me give you this one.
Ah, thank you.
And since we're going Midwest and we're going potluck style,
Oh, all right.
you've never been to a potluck without this broccoli salad, right? So,
That's good.
No, oh, gosh, no.
so there we go. No, was that too much? There we go. Oh, and we need dingle hoppers. All right, let's see if it qualifies as a Midwestern
Is everybody being filmed eating?
pork-loin sandwich.
Perfect.
Okay.
Very good.
Hip, hip, hooray! Pass the test.
Done it right.
Okay, so next we're gonna eat this slider. Then we got to eat another one, but this is gonna be the pork milanese style with the marinara and some melted mozzarella. We'll see. We'll see if it passes the test. Okay, round two. We're gonna do our pork milanese style. So again, same process: flour, egg wash, and this time we got some seasoned breadcrumbs here. A little bit different texture. Make sure we got plenty on there, and back into our oil. Lovely. You hear that dog barking? Probably because I threw away that pork fat. She's mad. Okay. There we go. Okay, round two is done. Now, no rack on this one. And if you look over here, the dog is licking the trash can. Sorry, Abs, for the splashing oil. All right. Okay, turn that baby off. Okay, so I made a little marinara. If you look here, Sarah likes her marinara like her men, just a little bit chunky. So, right? So we're gonna put a little bit of that on there. Right, Sarah? Yeah. And, okay.
Oh, that is not a tenderloin, it's my son.
There we go. All right. Okay, little mozzarella here on the top. Abby, it's like a chicken parm.
I'll try it.
You should like it.
I'll try it.
Okay. Now we're gonna put these guys in the oven. Broil it up. Okay. Try not to destroy the cheese here when I do this.
Yeah, Henry's been looking perfect.
There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and let's top these guys. All right, the non-traditional version, Marge.
Okay.
I hope it meets your approval. Denny?
Looks good.
Well, that's it, folks. That's another episode of Feeding Otters with the pork loin sandwich, 2 ways, Midwestern style, and then a American Italian version with the marinara, the chunky marinara, and some mozzarella cheese. So remember, like the video. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. Peace.